Good day, wonderful people, and welcome to Super Moms with Nanlise. My name is Nanlise Ogunsiji, and thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're having a super mom with us, who is not just a mom or a wife. She's also a minister of God and a senior lecturer and director of academic workforce at School of Nursing and Midwifery in one of the prestigious universities in Sydney, Australia. The Western Sydney University, where she lectures nursing and midwifery. With us here we have Dr. Mrs. Olayide Ogunsiji, who is also the founder of African Women's Health and Support Organization. Mommy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule to join us today. Yeah, I wish to learn from you today.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you for having me.
How are you finding the weather?
The weather is good. We give God the praise. The God of summer is the God of winter.
Yeah.
We are transitioning nicely into winter now, so we thank God. I always make sure I keep myself warm. I don't like cold, but
yeah,
you continue to, each time the weather changes, it gives me a different perspective. That our God has time and season in His hands.
Yes, that's so true.
So I thank God for the change.
Yes. So viewers at home, today Mom is going to be taking us through a beautiful journey, which is transition into motherhood. Most times women are not prepared, or they are not prepared. Nobody's ever prepared for motherhood. It's just like comes boom into your face and you are a mom. So Mom is going to take us through the through some ways, some methods. She's going to be taking us from our point of study, which is nursing and midwifery, on what to expect, the hormonal changes, physical changes and all that, and how to react to motherhood. So most women are scared. She's going to tell us how she was able to conquer her fears when she became a mom, how she was able to also be a mom and being able to pursue a career too. So mommy, this topic is really touchy because most times women are not prepared like to be a mom. For example, you just got married, you're trying to adjust to being called a wife, then before you know you're pregnant and you're gonna be a mom. Sometimes some women go online, like they view some materials like the labor and all that and get so scared. They fear their body is not going to be the same anymore, which actually happens. So we want you to really shed more light on it for us, like the hormonal changes, how to cope with it, and how to survive being a mom.
Thank you so much. That's a very interesting topic, personally and professionally, and even experientially in terms of people that I've really worked with. Like you correctly said, nobody sits anybody down and say this is how your body is going to feel.
Yeah.
Because in the first instance, even for an individual that have had a couple of pregnancy herself, you find out that every pregnancy is different.
Yeah.
And even for somebody that is now transitioning into motherhood for the very first time, the first time mothers, they find it much more difficult. And and like rightly said, when one becomes pregnant, that is after the fertilization of the egg by the sperm, a lot of things take place in the body, which it's God's divine design. Because as soon as conception takes place, the brain is triggered to begin to discharge all the hormones that are required for the baby to grow, that are required for the breast milk to be produced, that are required for the woman and the body to carry the pregnancy itself. And we know that takes a lot of toll in people's lives. We begin to experience different things that even start from morning sickness. The first trimester is a very, very challenging period for every woman that is becoming a mother for the first time. and even for some subsequent ones. But with subsequent pregnancies, just that you have had the first experience, you have some idea of what to expect. But with the first one, is very, very, very difficult. And what happens then is that there are a number of symptoms you begin to see, and it varies. Like I said, it varies from people to people. But some important things that usually cut across is the fact that the first 3 months is a very difficult month, because one, you don't know what is wrong with you. The whole body begins to feel as you can. For some people, they cannot even take in anything, they cannot hold anything in their stomach, in terms of constant vomiting, constant spitting, and feeling sleepy, feeling weak and tired. And for somebody like you said, transitioning from being a wife now to being preparing to become a mother, that's another ballgame in terms of the relationship between the woman and her husband. Because all that the woman will now be seeing is constant sick wife, a wife that is sick. Because to the woman, she's not well, to that extent, she's sick. And to the man, the wife is not well, to him, she's sick. So a lot of things like that takes place in the body. So what that then suggests is, as an individual, there is need to seek for professional guidance in terms of, this is the way I'm feeling. I've not seen my period for XYZ number of times, and months, or even a couple of weeks, or even I've just missed it in the last 2-3 weeks. Yeah. I don't know what is going on. Then we thank God, because of the medical sciences, one can easily do a pregnancy test and see whether it is positive. And the moment you test positive, it is congratulations. Yeah. But the journey starts. The journey starts for the woman. All that she, as a matter of fact, nobody can really teach an individual that this is the way to experience or to feel it. The most important thing then is to make use of all the resources that are available to support the individual. In the first instance, if the pregnancy is something that the individual feels we are not ready for it, there is a lot of things that goes on in the mind, in terms of, for some families, it can even cause misunderstanding, in terms of the husband saying, how come you become pregnant? And sometimes I just laugh. I say, oh, all right, what a question. What a question. Did you tell her to be using contraceptive pills, or was she using it? No, she wasn't using it. Oh, then what a question. Now you're asking, how come you become pregnant? I think fear enough, for a number of reasons. And like you said, maybe if the person is a migrant or refugee, is just trying to get settled in terms of income and everything. So it just, the first question for every woman, for every man, every family is, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to take care of the child? How are we going to do? A lot of questions just run and run and run and run. There's a particular study that I'm analyzing now. About 21 couples took part in the study, and it's a qualitative study looking at transitioning to motherhood and to fatherhood. And you find out that what cut across everybody, even when they're expecting and when they're not expecting, is, yes, we know we're going to get pregnant, and yeah, I know my wife is going to have it, but we're going to have, but not now. But when? You get what I mean? So there is need to understand that pregnancy can come anytime. The person is in a marriage relationship, you're already married, it can come anytime. The man needs to know that it can come, the pregnancy can come anytime. And when that pregnancy comes, yes, you don't know what it feels, but it's about tapping into professional advice that is available through the GP, through even getting psychosocial support around with people that cares. It can be a lonely journey, like all the couples that took part in the study that I'm talking about. It can be a really lonely journey, because all of a sudden somebody that is bubbly goes out everywhere and things. You now feel that I don't even feel like going to shower to start with.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like going to dress up. How can I start dressing up? Or even if I go there, some people, the very smell of food, you want to start vomiting. Am I going to visit somebody and I'll start vomiting? I don't want to go anywhere. So which then means the person is likely to be stuck at home.
Yeah.
And for some people, it goes beyond just the first 3 months. Some people will even vomit until they put to bed.
Yeah.
So it varies here and there. In terms of my own personal experience, I can say that, well, that happened about 29 years ago. I didn't find it funny at all, because even by that time there was no internet, there was nowhere to check Google and everything. All these smartphones were not there. You just go with whatever thing that goes on in the body. You just go with the flow. I remember vividly well, I couldn't sit in the house even to cook. If I go to somebody's house and they are cooking, I'll just start throwing up straight away. So what that meant, most of the time I didn't used to go out. I'll be at home, except if I go to somebody's house. They've already finished preparing meal and it's super chilly. That is the only time that I go to eat it. But it was for a short period of time. The most important thing is to recognize that it's for a while.
Yeah.
And the joy of what you are looking forward to behold in your hand goes a long way in terms of making you feel that, well, I'm expecting something glorious, something wonderful, and trusting God, seeking the face of the Lord more at that particular point in time. And it was the time to begin to communicate with the baby. And it just makes the whole journey have a different perspective entirely.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mommy. Thank you so much. You've listened to Mommy on the hormonal changes in the body. When pregnant, most women go through it. I remember vomiting. Yeah, that was. I remember throwing up very often, and I remember like asking for some things that I know that I can't have at that particular moment.
Start cravings.
Yeah, start cravings. Like I remember eating a lot, like just eating. Since they said I should eat for 2, and I like food before. And I love food so much, so I just started eating. So pregnancy is a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey. So Mom, that's the journey, pregnancy. So what are the after part? Like most women, when they put to bed, like the physical appearance changes, like the weight gain, the stretch marks. Some women even like fall into depression after putting to bed. Like for example, when they don't even have people, like you just put to bed. Normally you're going to stay at home with baby for a period of time. Some women get depressed, like they are just at home by themselves. Because I remember myself, there was a day I got tired of staying home alone, that I packed my hospital bag and was like, let me just go back to the hospital and stay with the midwife. Instead of staying at home and just me at home alone with the baby. And my husband was like, where do you think you are going? Please, madam, go and sit down. So, Mommy, how do you, what will you tell women out there, like, about their bodies, how to love their bodies again and work on themselves?
I think we should go, I will take us a little bit back to the previous question and add a bit more to it. Pregnancy requires a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and psychologically. And physically, in terms of knowing that it is a big step that one is taking. It's a big step that the body is taking. And it's going to take a toll on one's body physically. And that means a lot of psychological preparation. When one is psychologically prepared in that way, you will not be too hard or too harsh on yourself. There is something we call, you consider the benefits vis-a-vis they call something strength, weakness, SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Taking the step to motherhood is a big step, but you know why you are going into it. One, you are fulfilling God's mandate to increase. One, you are, adding and enlarging
Yeah.
So all those ones are preparation that they bring me to make in the course of, before, even during pregnancy. The trick there is that, until when one becomes pregnant, some of the things that you may be hearing many times may not even make sense.
Yeah.
But by the time you now become pregnant, you now see that, oh my goodness, so this is what that person was saying. So the time of pregnancy is the time to connect, even with people, because that connection at the time of pregnancy will assist when the baby is born. The mental preparation in the time of pregnancy is what will assist one after the baby is born, because you have already prepared your mind that my stomach is going to be like this, my breast is going to be like this, and we add on more weight, and things like that. So when the baby is now born, the trick is, for migrants, there are no support out there.
Yeah.
Not that there are no support, but there are not the support that we think we need in terms of my mom, my auntie, my uncle. They are not there. But it's good for us to recognize that there are other network of people that God has planted around us. There is one thing I always believe, I know, and I strongly believe in it, that God strategically locates people wherever we are to bless our lives.
Yeah.
They may not necessarily be our brother or sister, but there are people out there that God has located to bless our lives. So the moment one gives back, and as a Christian, we expect that you're attending a church, you'll be networking with like-minded Christians. You get what I mean? So that is the time they will now come around to support you, to guide you, and even to tell you bits and tips. Why do people experience postnatal depression? Depression comes when you just feel helpless.
Yeah.
When there is a sense of hopelessness, helplessness in terms of, this baby is crying. Why is he or she crying? What am I going to do? Even starting, some people, the heart of even being able to carry a baby is not common. Some people, they would say, I don't even know how to hold my baby. Am I going to fold the baby, or is the baby going to break, or things like that? That is the time to work very nicely with our midwives.
Yeah.
They will be there to clarify all questions, all concerns, because it's just genuine. It is just genuine. It's real. It's real. So psychologically, there is a need to get support from the husband. When people have babies, many times they are sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Because the time that the baby wants to play in the middle of the night, or is awake to feed and all the rest, you're already exhausted. You're tired. And even breastfeeding takes another toll in terms of if one decides to be 100%, if one decides to 100% feed the baby. So what am I trying to say? It's a time to get connected. Identify whoever that can, be there to guide you. Thank God for all the technology that are out there now. Give people calls. People can come physically to come and pay you a visit. I know the time, some people that might have given back in the time of COVID-19 and lockdown might have experienced additional, stresses in terms of people cannot come over, and I will not even encourage them to have people come over because of, social distancing, keeping the baby safe, and all the rest like that.
Yeah.
So how do we address the issue of postnatal depression? It's about remaining connected and getting perspectives from other people that what you are passing through is not a peculiar issue. Yeah. You are not the only one. It is typical of that particular stage, and it will get better. Yeah. You will get used to, your baby, and there are quite a number of, support phone lines that you can give the midwife a call, you can give your GP a call, you can give experienced, maybe mothers or senior or elder people a call, and they're able to say, do it like this, do it like that, do it like that. I think my advice for people is really not to take it too hard on themselves. I do tell people, you know, it's being delusional to think that the first month after giving birth, your body is going to be back to shape. Your breast is going to go back to the small shape, you know, the small size it was before. And all those things. And I think this, what I'm saying, also apply to husbands.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? In terms of recognizing the reality of what they are going into. You know, the wife may not have the size 8 shape that she used to have before. At least, if at all she will go back to gym and all the rest, like, it's not going to be in the first 1 month.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the first 2 months. So it's important to be connected to people. It's important to be connected with God, who knows the end of a thing right from the beginning. It is very important for one to also get connected with professionals. Get connected even with people that may have babies and may be at the stage that you are in, so that you know that you are not alone. And like I said before, we cannot overemphasize the importance of the support that the woman needs from the husband. Because that is they are the only two people that they are with themselves 24/7. People may come and visit at a particular point and they will go back to their houses, but it's just both of you that are there. It's now for you to welcome the baby and see a bundle of joy that God is committing into your hands. And I think it's a great responsibility as well, and it's a great privilege. In the study that I spoke about, you know, after having the baby, many people describe themselves as being highly privileged, that God is able to commit that life into their hands. So it's a matter of now living every day, one day at a time.
Yeah.
There is no pressure. Even the government knows that there is need for the woman to take time to rest. That's why there is maternity leave.
Yeah.
They even allow some paternity leave, a couple of weeks, depending on the place of work. That is what it is meant for. And, you know, when the baby is sleeping, the mother should take time to sleep, so that when the baby is awake, you are awake as well, to enjoy the baby, to fellowship with the baby, and even, you know, to maintain your sanity as well.
Mom, thank you so much for that beautiful adult. It's so nice. It's so nice to have a beautiful gift called a baby. But the stress that comes with it too is very outrageous. Thank you, Mommy, for shedding light on it and telling us women how to go about it. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, like you've listened to Mommy and heard from Mommy, if you just had a baby, you just have to take it easy on yourself. Your body might not go back to normal immediately, but that does not mean it will go back. It's just going to take some time. You don't have to overwork yourself or over gym yourself. You know that when you were pregnant, your body undergoed some changes, so you shouldn't stress yourself like 1 month you in the gym, you're trying to get back to shape. You should also consider spending time with your baby and bonding with your baby. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining us today. Mommy, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's an absolute
We really
pleasure.
appreciate your time.
An absolute pleasure.
To ask Mommy questions, or if you want to speak to Mommy, you can send us a mail on supermumswithnanlise@gmail.com. If you want to find out more about Mommy, you want to communicate with her, you can Google her name on Google. Mommy, your name is on Google. Mommy name is on Google. Just put Dr. Mrs. Olayide Ogunsiji and all our details is going to pop up.
Okay.
Please watch our watch on YouTube, like and share and subscribe. Thank you so much, and do have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Thank
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.